What's up guys, Rob from Showdown here, and today we are going to do a Hunter build your team. Now this is arguably one of the hardest build your teams I've ever had to make. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, look at this. It's stacked all around. And Hunter is one of those shows where you don't have to go off the strength, but you can also go off nen strategies, which is going to be something that I'm definitely taking into consideration today, because look who is here. Normally I like to go straight off of the top tier bracket, but I'm actually going to go straight down into the $3 bracket, guys. Now let's get that one Phantom Troop member out of the way. Phaeton. I have a lot of respect for Phaeton. We know he is super powerful, but it's not really going to work for my team because his Hatsu ability requires him to take damage. I don't think I can afford that with the team I'm trying to build. So this leaves us to the trio. We have Karapika, Killua, and Gon. Now, Killua is arguably the fastest on this list, or at least in the top 3. Godspeed Killua. One of the craziest techniques we have ever seen, and he can also paralyze people on the level of a Yuppie, which is nothing to laugh at. So we know where Killua stands as a top tier assassin from the Zoldyck family. Next up we have Karapika, who I'm definitely looking at, because look at how many Phantom Troop members we have on this tier list. Now here's the issue with grabbing Karapika. His Scarlet Eyes are only useful against the Phantom Troop members. We know he set his Nen conditions, so his Changeo can only work on those types of opponents, which makes this tough, because if we look back at the list, Shizuku is there and Chrollo is there, which will make things interesting if I grab either one. But lastly, we got Gon, and Gon is obviously one of the greatest enhancers we have ever seen. But specifically, I'm going to talk about adult Gon, because he can power up into that form. And once he's in that form, he's almost Meruem level, if not already on Meruem's level in terms of pure strength. The Nen aura is ridiculous. He was bodying Pito like it was nobody's business. So I may have to grab Gon, but after he uses that technique, he's pretty much rendered useless. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Gon for $3, and I have to take Gon because look at who is in the $10 bracket. We have meruem, we have netero, we have chrollo, we have Zoldyck, all these top tier opponents. And yes, even though Gon's Nen techniques aren't the greatest, I need that raw strength, that raw power that I can get from his adult form, and it may not last me throughout the entire fight, but I gotta take him. Now I only have $12 left. And there are a lot of top tier Nen users still that are on this list that I can grab at any moment. I want to look at the $5 bracket for a second. Do I want to grab somebody in the $5 bracket? You have Yubi, who's arguably the strongest Royal Guard member. You have Pito there, who has Dr. Blythe. So Pito can heal, but we have to take it back for a second, because once Pito is using Dr. Blythe, we know that Pito is pretty much super vulnerable and can get taken down at any moment. Bisky, I have a lot of respect for Bisky. I don't know if Bisky's going to work with my team, because even though Bisky has the raw strength and raw power, pretty much similar to Gon's adult Gon form transformation, it's not really going to work for me, because I'm going to have to grab either netero, meruem, or chrollo. Because guys, understand this. Netero has a 0-hand technique. That 100-hand statue, arguably the greatest defensive maneuver out of everybody on this list. But he doesn't have the strength to really hang with Meruem in a 1v1. He just has the technique. Meruem has the strength and the power, which I may be able to already have with adult Gon. Adult Gon, remember, has been stated by Pito that his power level is close to Meruem, or is even on the level of a meruem. But he's not gonna last. Then there's also Chrollo. And since I didn't grab Karapika, do I even want to bother grabbing Chrollo at this point? Because now Karapika's left out there. I'm going to have to face a team that has Karapika. Do I even want to pick up a Phantom Troop member at this rate? Now we know Chrollo was hanging in a fight with both Zoldyck and Silver Zoldyck, which is no small feat. It was even also stated by Zeno himself that if Chrollo was actually trying, Chrollo could have finished them off. But Karapika's still on the board. Remember, I took Gon for $3. Now that means I'm going to have to face an opponent that's going to have Karapika. Is it even worth it to grab a Phantom Troop member? And I am not saying that Chrollo is weaker than Karapika because he's not. But Meruem is stronger, and Netero is stronger. He's stronger than Xenozoldyck, but is his ability to steal Nen abilities that useful for my team? I don't think so. I think I'm going to actually grab Netero here. I'm going to grab Chairman Netero, and here's why. I'm going to have a power that is already on Meruem's tier in Adult Gon for $3. Now I can even add the zero hand style from Netero with his great defensive maneuvers. I'm pretty much having top tier offense and top tier defense. Now Meruem is clearly the strongest character on this list. I am not questioning that. What I am questioning is his Nen techniques and his ability to really flourish, because we know that Meruem really didn't have a chance to really gain that experience yet. He was just born when he was boxing Netero. So I'm gonna grab Chairman Netero for $10. I have to do it. This leaves me with $2 left. Now with $2 left, it's rough. It's rough because the $1 bracket to me is still stacked, because Hunter is one of those anime that really hones in on the fact that strength is not everything. Nen techniques matter. Nen mastery matters. Let's see who we have in the $1 bracket. It's stacked. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys for a second here, because I really want to grab Shizuku, because I know that she has the ability to really drain an opponent's blood out of them if there are open wounds. And that's a dangerous technique to have. But like I said before, Karapika is still left on the board. I did not take him. And I don't know if Shizuku can really hang with a Karapika. I don't think so. So I think I might leave Shizuku off of my team strictly for those Scarlet Eyes. I'm worried about the Scarlet Eyes. Now currently I'm looking at Shoot. Let's take a moment to really dissect his abilities. Now, he can seal where he's attacked an opponent on their body. Is that enough to really get my team over the hump? I don't think so, because we've seen his fight against Yuppie and he was borderline dead. Knuckle had to step in. And I do like the fact that he can use separate body parts to really box and fight from long range. And he's also very agile. He can move around in the air, but I don't know if that's enough for me. But do I want to end this off on Meruem and Knuckle? I don't know. Tell you what, I'm grabbing Knuckle. I'm grabbing Knuckle for $1. And let's understand that his ability to fight in close range is one of the greatest and one of the most overlooked on this tier list. He can box on a high level, and I'm really a big fan of his bankruptcy technique, because we know that it was putting Yuppie in a compromising position. If you have your Nen aura pretty much going to this bankruptcy technique and it catches up with you, you're done. After that, all of your Nen is taken away, and Knuckle's technique is very dangerous. You can't inflict damage on Knuckle. Knuckle can't inflict damage on you, so it's pretty much a stalemate, which I like. And it will buy me some time for Adult Gon. I'm going to take Knuckle for $1, which leaves me with only $1 left. Now, do I want Shizuku or do I want Meruem? I'm stuck. I'm stuck, because if I grab Shizuku, this means I'm dependent on the fact that we can get by a Karapika and we can still box on a high level. This is really banking on the fact that a lot of the people that my team are going to be fighting against are going to have open wounds, and that Shizuku can really go in there and get the blood out as quickly as possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that unless I pair Shizuku with a Meruem, because we know that his technique is God's accomplice. He can make anybody invisible as long as he holds his breath for as long as he can. But since I already grabbed Knuckle for $1, that means Shizuku is off the list. This means I'm going to have to grab Meruem. Understand that Meruem has the God's accomplice technique. He can become invisible and make others invisible as long as he's attached with them. And this is a problem. This is a problem for any team, because if he can stay under your radar, whether you activate your N, you know Pito's N is one of the craziest we have ever seen. We know that Yuppie's aura is so elite, so powerful, but if Meruem can stay undetected and keep one of my teammates undetected as well, I think that's dangerous. I think that's very, very dangerous. Now, we know he's not as powerful as anybody else on this list, but if I pair him with a Gon and I get him to pretty much attach himself to an Adult Gon, Adult Gon is landing sneak attacks on people, and Adult Gon is pretty much a meruem level offensive opponent just for a short amount of time. Meruem can't even sense that Meliodas is there. I think it's a solid team. Now my team is Netero, Gon, Meliodas, and Knuckle. Let's see if my team has a chance. Meruem is obviously the strongest on this list. I'm not going to deny that. But I did not grab Meruem strictly for the fact that his Nen mastery isn't that great. He's just complete brute strength. But that's what I'm getting from Adult Gon. I'm already getting that complete brute strength on that high level, and I'm getting it for $3 as opposed to $10. And that helped me out because now I was able to grab Chairman Netero, who has the greatest defensive Nen in this whole tier list without question. Now, if I have Knuckle using his bankruptcy technique on any of these top tier Nen users, top tier fighters within the $5, $10 bracket, that changes the game significantly. Because if Knuckle lands that and gets away, as long as that bankruptcy number starts to grow over time, if I can keep Knuckle hidden, keep him away with Meliodas, if I can keep Knuckle defended with Netero's defensive technique, now you guys see where I'm thinking. That will be able to build up to a point where an opponent has to get inside as fast as possible or it's a done deal. Who's getting past Chairman Netero's defensive maneuvers on this list? If Meruem couldn't really even do it, nobody on this list is really going to be able to do it. Maybe a Chrollo, we'll see what happens, but nobody's getting past that zero hand technique. Alright, so you guys let me know down in the comment section below, which teams would you make? And again, with a show like Hunter x Hunter, you can really make a case for any team. There is no team that is really just blowing all other teams out the water because strength and Nen mastery both matter. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.